guys, welcome back to the channel. Um, we recently bought this camper, as you know, is the Harker EXO. We went to Salt Lake City, Utah to install it, and we did a big adventure. I'm doing this video today to share some of the ideas we are of things that we're doing to maximize space in the camper. When we did the adventure, we obviously drove from Texas over there, and we were carrying all this kind of stuff with us, and it was kind of tight in the camper. So today we're gonna relocate Maxtrax, and I'm gonna show you what I did with things like the recovery gear in order to have more space in the camper. It's a work in progress. You just have to go out there, try what it works, and that's gonna give you more ideas on how you're gonna organize yourself and maximize the space. Because the reality is, when you go on a trip, on a big overland trip or on a big camping trip, you name it however you want, you're carrying a lot of stuff. It's not gonna be nice and neat in here. You can do some stuff to maximize space and make it better. And that's what we're trying. We're trying to come up with idea to maximize space, and we want to share it with you just in case you can get some ideas from here and helps you in the way you plan and organize the gear that you're gonna carry. And of course, we have drawers and we have kind of like a cabinet here to store our gear, but not everything fits in there. We have things like the recovery gear and the tools that were two separate bags hanging around the camper, or the living space of the camper, if you want to call it like that. We call it like that. And one of those bags is the recovery gear bag. It's a big bag. It's not the biggest of the recovery gear bags. I've seen bigger one, but it was always in the middle. We always needed to move it to grab something else. It was occupying some space. And we definitely, after coming back from our trip and analyzing what things we could done to improve the space, we found out that this one containing the recovery gear needed to be replaced. So we moved the recovery gear somewhere else that I'm gonna show you. And then this bag, we now don't have this bag taking up space. You can see it occupies space. It occupies a good like square foot or something like that, if we want to call it like that. So this is gone. I have a tool roll from Step 22 that is really good, but it's pretty full of tools and it was taking some space. So we have like two bags almost the same size, taking some space there. Then we're gonna show you how we're gonna relocate the Maxtrax today, because we put the recovery gear in the section or in the area where we had the Maxtrax installed. And all these, again, these are ideas that you get as you go to trips, and then you come back and sit down and analyze where can you improve or maximize your space. It's not gonna be perfect in a long trip. You're gonna carry a lot of stuff, especially if you go into a cold place. You need to carry heater, more blankets. You need to carry more stuff if you're gonna be away for a long time. If you guys have a baby like us, we have Luca. We carry his stuff too as well, where we bath him, his little bed. We carry a lot of stuff for him. So you kind of want to get all these things, the recovery gear and things like that, that you can put in a spot and leave them there. And that way, in that spot where you leave the recovery gear, it sits there. It doesn't take any of the living space, and you don't have to be moving it around. So those are the kind of things that you need to identify, that always kind of like stay in the truck. Where can you place them for them to stay there? And that way it doesn't take space for anything else that you might need to carry. So this is where our recovery gear is right now. It's kind of tight here, but I already tried and it opened and closed pretty good. This is a Pelican V700. I literally have this box laying around. So the only thing we bought was the brackets for it. I'm gonna leave the link in the description if you guys are interested. It's made for the Pelican box, but I got it off of Amazon, but it's Pelican branded. So they're good. It's for the box and they're gonna work really good. I only could put one bolt here, but it's been pretty solid. So I think so far it's working great. So all of our straps and recovery, we have a shovel, we have a lot of stuff, and we still have some space there. We have the tool roll there as well, and we still have some space there for more stuff. And I have two locks on each, one lock on each side, so it's not gonna go anywhere. And you know, this is a really good solution for recovery gear, and it's something that you don't have to be moving around, and it's accessible in case you need it. The way that Harker Outdoors install the accessories is with these load bars. They call it the vertical bars. If you can see, my propane back here is mounted in one of those bars as well, and then the awning as well is mounted using that. So it's been pretty solid. When you open the awning, sometimes you can see a little play, but as soon as you tied it up with the roller cam or any other roller strap that you have, it works perfectly. So for this side, we have this vertical bar, and then we have this one with the propane, right? If you notice, this side doesn't have any vertical bars, and that's why we ordered two of them, just so we can install the Maxtrax on the side of the camper. They're going to be accessible and they're going to be out of the way. And there we have our shower tent right there. So here my load bars are. I bought two so we can install the Maxtrax. They're pretty light, but they're strong. They're made out of aluminum. Harker Outdoor send them to you directly. I guess it's nice. It's nicer to order them with them because it's already powder coated and they already send you the hardware that you need to install it in the L-Trax. One thing that I think I did wrong was buying these things, these Maxtrax things. I bought it too long. Let me get the package from here. I think these are 40 millimeter, if you can see there. I should have bought the smaller ones, just because I'm gonna have now a lot of this going over to the other side. So but to fix that, I just bought some spacer that we're gonna be installing here, and that's gonna help us, prevent that it touches the camper wall when we install it like this. So we're just gonna do the holes here, 2 on each load bar. We're gonna measure that way it's in the center, and then mount the Maxtrax here and then mount it on the camper. So when you're doing these things, it's very important to measure several times. So in this case, I have to measure that the holes are in the center of the vertical bars, and I have to measure that it's the same distance here from the bottom to the Maxtrax and from the top to the Maxtrax. So that's what we're doing now in order to mark where we're gonna do the holes, mark it, and then proceed with doing the holes. This one is gonna help me to make sure that both load bars are perfectly parallel. And then we're gonna measure with the tape measure, mark the holes and all that, okay? So I'm gonna use this pin punch in order to mark my holes, and then first we're gonna do the hole with the small drill bit, and then we're gonna proceed with the larger drill bit. Let's do it. We're kind of slowly making the hole bigger until we get the size we need for the pins. We don't want to make a hole that is way bigger than what we need. So now we have the hose ready. Like I mentioned before, we're gonna be using the spacer because we bought the longer version, so it's gonna kind of like overhang back here and probably hit the camper wall. We don't want that, so we're just gonna use this plastic spacer, nylon spacer, and put it there. You have your washer on the other end and your nylon nuts that come with the pins itself. Just put it here and install it. Then you just have to like hold it from here and make sure that you tighten that knot pretty good. That way it doesn't go anywhere with the vibrations. So as you see, we have our Maxtraxx already in the pins installed. Everything went well. We have a little bit of gap here between the vertical load bar and the Maxtraxx, but it's because we had to put some spacers. So recommendation for you guys, make sure you measure, because Maxtraxx pins come in two measure, and that means how long is the that screw on the back. So that's something we failed to measure correctly, but it won't hurt. It's solid, as you can see. It's gonna be pretty firm. And these ones allow you to install 2 and 4 Maxtraxx. We have 2 for the moment, and we're gonna be installing 2 more in the future. I don't know when, whenever we can. But yeah, this is another of the things we had in plans to make more space in our campers and to have the Maxtraxx more handy. I was hesitant to put them on the side at first, just because it's more accessible for someone if someone wants to like steal them. But I think I can put like a log or something here, and that can prevent some of that happening. But I think it's one of the best way to go into where you're gonna put your Maxtraxx. You have them close to you, and just with the movement of the pin, you can just release them, the 4 of them. If you have 4, you move the pins like this, and then just pull your Maxtraxx out. It's that simple. Before we actually install the load bars with the Maxtraxx, we need to move, or just to take this one out for the moment. It's our shower enclosure. We're gonna put them back there, but we need to see if it's gonna be in the way of the other load bars or what's gonna happen with that. Hopefully not. We're just gonna put it on the side so we can install the bars with the Maxtraxx and then put it back on. Hopefully we can put it in the same spot. You see we have an L-track system here, so you need to make sure you have the appropriate hardware for the L-tracks. In this case, they send you what you need. Harker Outdoors, I bought the load bars directly with them because this is what they install in their campers, and they include the hardware, but just make sure you have hardware for L-tracks. It makes things way easier. The moment of truth. Let's see if it fits and if it's straight. Hopefully it is. So I just encountered an issue, and it's a typical issue when you're building these rigs, is that for you to install something, you need to move 20 different things. So um, I miscalculated this one here, and the shower tent or the shower enclosure is not going to be a problem to open and close it because how close is to the Maxtrax. So um, I'm gonna look there in my toolbox to see what I have to kind of like maybe bring it out or up a little bit, and that way we can have some space to open and close it and close the shower enclosure. So it's usual when you're building these rigs, you have to move 20 things just to make one thing, to place one thing the way you want it. So and for everything to work properly. So it's pretty normal. Sometimes you get frustrated, but it's just how it is for it to work. For example, you're gonna um, put bigger tires, then suddenly you cannot fit your spare tire under the truck and you need a tire card, things like that. Here I put the Maxtrax here, then my previous brackets that I have for my shower tent are not working. So I need to figure out where am I gonna put it. Maybe I can put it on the other side, but I have the awning there, so no, actually that's not an option. Or just different brackets, and I think that's the way I should go on this one. So we'll see what we do. So I analyze all of the options of things that I can do in order to make this work. The only thing will be to put it the same way that it was installed initially, which is to flip this bracket the opposite way. That way the shower tent will raise a little bit higher towards the lid of the camper. It's not ideal. That's the way it was installed initially, and we move it because the canvas of the shower tent was not fully um, getting to the ground like we wanted. But right now, that's the only way until we can figure out another solution. And really, the only solution that I see right now will be to add one more L track here in this front. That will allow me to just put the shower tin right there. I think it's gonna be the best solution. But for now, we're just gonna go with flipping the tent. So instead of being down here, it's gonna be kind of like up here, and we'll see how that works. There you have it, guys. Completely clear. It's way tall up there, but we'll just have to adjust the canvas the most we can. That way we can cover our legs while we are in the bathroom doing our stuff. So we'll see how it works. All right, so let's talk about where you put your jackets. One thing that you need to carry when you go in a trip, it's jackets, or your coats or whatever you want to call them. The jackets needs to be handy, needs to be in a place that you can store them and get them when you get out if it gets cold. And when you go on a trip, if you're going to the north or different places, you don't know if it's going to be too cold, if it's going to be mild. So Leslie and I, each of us have two jackets there, one lighter and one thicker, in case, depending the weather that is there. She even has one more up there. So there's a total of five jackets in total in here, and we still have space from some of Lucas blankets and all those things for the baby. We also have a device there that is a de-choker in case there's an emergency and someone chokes with a piece of eating or something, or that thing's like necessary when you have a baby. And then we have our oxygen bottles when you are in altitude. Sometimes you need those. We have our medical kits here, and then obviously we needed to install the full seat back because now we have Luca goes with us everywhere. If he doesn't go, no one goes for real. All right, so yeah, Luca goes with us, and that's his base. And then if in case Leslie needs to go back there to feed him or anything, we have to install the seat. He has his dedicated um first aid kit that it's in there. It's for Luca only, and then raincoats are here just stuck in there in the seat. It's kind of like how we store our jackets. I just hate to have those like running around in the vehicle. This is pretty cheap. It's from Amazon. We're gonna put a link in the description as well. And if you want to get it, it's not like super like the best quality, for example, but it's been working fine for what we needed. And then we had to do our little modification here to be able to use it. We just use the factory bolt there and then put a hook, and then that's helping us install it and keep it up there. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this helped you guys get some ideas, because I know organization can be overwhelming sometimes. With this video, we really hope that you guys obtain some ideas on how to organize and pack your gear better. We know how hard and stressful can be an overland trip. It's a lot of work. It's not that easy, especially we just did a trip of 3,000 miles. We went to Salt Lake City. We went southwest. We took the southwest part of Utah, did national parks, did trails. So a camping slash overland trip with the family, including a baby, it's a challenge, but you learn and grow from that. And if you enjoy, you're gonna have a blast. Now, the gear and then the mess, not having a place for everything, can be overwhelming, and sometimes it's a determining factor that some people just give up and stop camping, stop doing overland trips. And that's what we want to prevent. We want to help you with the experience that we're getting, because we're not experts, we're learning a lot, and sometimes we get really stressed, we get overwhelmed, but then we come back, we sit down, and we think, okay, let's see what things did not work, what things we need to rearrange, what things we need to get rid, what things we need to bring on the next trip. That's what we want to share with you guys to help you get ideas. At least some ideas are going to be helpful. Some of you, I know that if you're watching the video, you're trying to get into overland camping, or you've been there and you don't know how to organize your stuff, you're struggling a little bit. This is what worked for us with our current setup. With different setups, it's different. Sometimes you can do boxes, just drawers, just yeah, different stuff. Anyways, and we've done it all. So it's a slowly progression. Things are super expensive right now, especially overland gear, and we don't want people to think that they need to buy the most expensive stuff to go and do camping. You can progress slowly, and that's what we are doing, and that's what we want to share with you guys. So hopefully this video gave you some ideas. If you want to see more of our adventures, we're going to leave a playlist up here for you guys to follow along. Some trips we have done in the past. We're still improving. We're improving our videos. We're going to try to do more videos of our adventures, including our different cooking that we do in the campsites. I think that's helpful too for you to see what's the reality of cooking in a campsite, cleaning, what are some recipes that we can share, because we do like to cook. We enjoy it a lot. And definitely we're gonna try to share some tips of things that we have done and that we are doing on learning with Luca, because he's an 8-month baby. It's our first baby. We go camping, overland trips, and we are learning a lot with that. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. We really that really helps the channel to grow and to for us to keep doing this and sharing with you. We also have Instagram and Facebook. You can find us there, see some pictures, and yeah, we share everywhere in all the platforms. So thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.